if I failed the last election, I was successful because of your support and the blessing of late Awujale. I came to him, he blessed me. And he said, you will win that election. Ọ̀tún wọlé ẹ̀kan sí. Go ahead. Today is no more. It's gone. God has blessed us. If listening to the richness of his wisdom expounded by Governor, His Excellency Dakmo, Governor of Ogun State, Oyinbo pọ̀. Well, I won't bring out its other title. Ọ̀kan lọmọ eléyìí of Ogun State. Well, at this stage, I must mention clearly how much I thank you for taking care of our father. He is our leader of conscience, tradition, and a great value. He brought pride, dignity, and honor to the Yoruba race. I'm extremely proud of him. He was always there at that time of need for all of us. I could recount the June 12th episode, our protest then, our episode in his palace, a foray, our resistance, our determination to reverse the annulment of June 12th. Papa was steadfast, was resolute, was very encouraging. That he lived to see the calendar as a 91-year-old person. To be honored at his 90th birthday with the Grand Commander of Niger.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take India.
Irọ́ ló ń pa o. There was nothing inside Awujale's palace during the time of, in fact, if we want to actually now begin to tell you the role of every one of them in the issue of a June 12. Irọ́ ló ń pa o. We were in his palace. Other person is just hallucinating, demented, and of course he is Koolu. So, irọ́ ló ń pa o. It's nothing like that. Nothing like that happened. Because around the time, in fact, Awujale, Sikiru Adetona, the Awujale that died, he was partially in bed with Abacha. Go and read about it. Partially in bed with him. And there were many like that. There were many. Until when Abacha grabbed Dia. Even when they grabbed Dia as well, it was neither here nor there. Do you understand? He was a complete establishment guy, Awujale. But again, I'm not here to actually discuss or debate him. All right. You know, but we can tell the life they led, the one they lived, the life they lived, as well as all the efforts in sabotaging the interest, not just the interest of the Ijabus, but the interest of the Yorubas generally. But they love to give themselves accolade like that, rub it on and all that. And when I look back in the history today, I'm like, how I wish with what they have now made of those traditional stool in Yoruba land now, right? Especially this latest from Ijabode, this Awujale guy, right? I'm like, I wish that BC Onabanjo succeeded that time when he got him removed. Remember that he was dethroned. Then he went to court. Then Bokwari struck. How many of you remember? Yeah, he was removed as Awujale of Ijebu land in 1981 by the then governor, BC Onabanjo, for some things like this, in a place where it is believed that the privilege, the privilege he was supposed to enjoy, the neutrality and the rest. No, this wasn't him. True story. Then Bokwari came. Bokwari just reinstated him and said, yo. So that is why when he supported Bokwari the first time, supported Bokwari the second time in 2015, in 2019, they were just stay back time. Benga Daniel, all of them attended his burial, Abi. But the same Benga Daniel remembers that Ijebu would have been one of the most beautiful cities with the best road networks today. But guess who they gave the contract of fixing Ijebu Road to? Sikiru Adetona. The same Sikiru Adetona Ujale. And go to Ijebu now. Go there. They are all there now. I mean, whenever they want to do Ujudi Opa, well, thanks to Benga Daniel, they built that pavilion for him. This man was supposed to be the paramount ruler of Ijebu land. Ijebu Ode was supposed to be. Have you been to Ijebu Ode, by the way? How many of you have been to Ijebu Ode? You'll be wondering, like, is this the same Ijebu Ode, ancient Ijebu Ode that they talk about and all that? No thanks to that old man. Then he died. Then he threw the entire tradition, the customs, he threw them under the bus for his own Larubawa, Muhammadan from Saudi. You saw them behind there, seated. Sikiru Adetona. Anyway, we leave them for, posterity will eventually judge everybody anyway, okay? Posterity will judge everyone. Eventually. As for Koolu, everywhere Koolu goes, he had to remind everyone that he is the president of Nigeria. Because he's not a legitimate president. He's not. It's unfortunate too, but here we are. The similar thing that he put together for Bokwari, in this day and time, you just need to be honest enough. Try and mask your biases, okay? And you likely will be able to see things better and clearer. Here, in the last 2 years, in order to make Tifnumbu look good, every appointee of Tifnumbu came out to tell us that Tifnumbu inherited a bankrupted country. They agreed, and they've repeated it on their TVs everywhere, just to protect Tifnumbu that Bokwari already destroyed Nigeria. In another breath, they want to tell you that they love Bokwari so much because Bokwari served Nigeria. Bokwari did a great job for Nigeria. All of this. And the burial that Tifnumbu put together of Bokwari, it seems them in the north are not really impressed. This guy who is an Atikus man says, no. You all know what they say about Bokwari every now and then. You can't turn around and say, oh, because he's dead now, you now love him. And I'm obviously looking forward to inheriting his political capital. Which political capital, by the way? This one is in Hausa, okay? So I'm going to ask if we have a Garba Life as well as a Milady Latuaruna. These are ladies, including Director Scott. You can help us do some interpretation here. In the comments, I'll put them on the screen once I see that what you type is indeed what he's saying, okay? For the sake of my viewers, all right? Now, I will come back and tell you exactly what this guy said in a summary. He's an Atifku's person. He's posturing that since Bokwari is dead, Atifku will now be the leader of the North. Dati Baba Ahmed said the coalition is being put together for Atifku. So this guy, no matter what Tifnubu does to impress them in the North, he is a gunner. And who is going to replace him? Atifku, he said. But you listen. Sorry, don't worry. If you don't understand what he's saying, right? Read the comments. And I'll come back and give you interpretation. I've given you some of it anyway, but just listen.
A'a jimamin da ike ai siyasa ce. Mutuwa kuma ai ba siyasa ba. Ai an nuna ta ba kai yaro. Abin da yasa abin da muka gano ba za ka iya gano shi kuma kai ba dan siyasa ba ne yau. Daga lokacin da muke siyasa kai ba a ma tunanin Allah zai halicce ka bai a haife ka. Haka dole mun fi ka kwarya duk da dai kai dan jarida. Sannan ya tashi i haka. Sannan ya zo ya wani haka. Billahi da siyasa ce saboda ba dan wani abu ba. Da a ce Bola Tinubu ya yi haka ne akan yau ga shugaban Muhammadu Buhari ya zama shugaban kasa amma ga inda aka binne shi. Alawayu wannan ɗan ƙwaya idan ya mutu akan titi shi aka sa wa shugaba Muhammadu Buhari ba canza masa rami aka yi ba ko ba. Ramin da za a sa ɗan ƙwaya irinsa za a sa shugaba Muhammadu Buhari da a ce ina wannan sai da dama. Sannan in ce yau ga shugaba Muhammadu Buhari shugaba ne amma yau ga shi muna gabansa gawarsa yau za a mutu amma sai aka fito da wata siyasa wanda ba kowa ne isan wannan sistem din ba idan ba tsohon dan siyasa irin ba siyasa ce abin da Tinubu ya yi saboda na farko dai Atiku tun dare ya je wajen nan kuma gaba ɗaya wannan icinye wajen gaba ɗaya babu irin Atiku Abubakar wajen matasa da sauran mutane. To sai aka ga cewa idan ya bar Atiku ba ana ganin Atiku shine halifan shugaba Muhammadu Buhari a Arewa domin yanzu tunda shugaba Muhammadu Buhari ya rasu Allah ya gafarta masa babu wannan yanzu halifa a Arewa a siyasa sai Atiku Abubakar. To wannan ma ya tsorata su.
Amma kuma da Bahaushe kan ce sanin sirrin ya za ka hankali cewa shi shugaban kasa ne ya janta ko jimanin abin da ya samu al'umma ba sai dan bukata.
To me yasa mutane suke karatun sanin halayyar dan adam a university kai nake tambaya ka san dai ana karatun sanin ɗabi'ar dan adam to kai da ka yi shi maye dalilin da ka yi shi a'a maye dalilin to wani abun wannan iri a'a a cikin halayya da dan adam din to don haka a siyasa mun san halayyar yan siyasa wa inda kaje kai karatu ko kuma mun yi shi practical da ba shugabannin siyasa
to me ya alamta maka hakan cewa akwai wata abu
saboda ni na san akwai magana ce ta zaben 2027 ya san ba shi da
I'll save you the stress. So to them is just a waste of time and you get to find out later. Even though people believe that Koolu doesn't even really need them. He's got all he needs to write whatever he wants. And he should keep doing what he's doing by keeping the opposition so divided and all of that. Then his 2027 is sorted. These and more are the permutations of those who are with Koolu and those who have ascribed so much power to him. My lady, I don't know if you are a lady, right? Is it Adebisi or Olabisi? I'm so sorry, I didn't pick that very well. Hang on, let me go take a look so that I can mention your name properly, okay? I have noticed that somehow, Olabisi Badmus. So I have noticed that somehow you must be an Ijebu person. Because whenever I started talking about Awujale, I've seen where you've tried your effort to explain things in a way that, we shouldn't see it just like a guy. But let me tell you something, okay? I am not a random person. when it comes to the Ijebu matter per se, especially Ijebu. I grew up there. Like, grew up there. You get what I mean? From the age of 3 months. So I was practically born there. I grew up revering, like I revered that school. I'm a very, very kind of like a traditional person, you can say. Right? So when it comes to the royal stools and traditional deeds, customs that I was raised within them, including that the position of Awujale, I was told the history of Ijebu land by the real Ijebus when they were still alive. I'm talking about elderly people. So I have every right to also be proud of the stool of Awujale. In fact, I am expected to actually speak to defend it as a true Ijebu son. But you can't be a true Ijebu son or a true Ijebu daughter and know what I know. This is not hearsay. This is not what I know over time. And not really feel so much like, God damn it, man. But as an Ijebu person, you are not expected to publicly, maybe as a Yoruba person as well, you're not expected to publicly call them out. And that's the problem. Like I said, when I was growing up, I revered these people for real. Like, I will follow them to Imosan. For those of you who are Omo Ijebu, the Alagemo Merindiloguns, Odogbolu is the headquarters of all the Alagemos. So which means the leader of all the Alagemos in Ijebu land lives in my town. And do you want to know something? He's also a member of my family. So you can tell that I'm actually like deep-rooted than what some of you can imagine. So I have practiced, I have been part of it, I've seen it, I have loved it. And I always respect it because I was like, man, this is such a beautiful customs and culture, like tradition and all that. It's so beautiful that everyone associated with it, or anyone that is given the responsibility to protect or preserve it, should see it as an honor. But unfortunately, when I started growing up, I started kind of understanding more and more that everything is not actually what they look like. No. Do you remember that I used to be part of their political stuff in Nigeria before I left for the UK? If I didn't leave Nigeria in 2012, by now, I would likely have been either, a political, no, I would have been all of that. I would have been a commissioner. I would have been possibly an elected public official, House of Rep member, House of Assembly, anything I would have been, because that's how smart I was within them that time. But why am I telling you all of this? It was within that space I actually got to know very much that Benga Daniel, the Bewiri Daniel, for those of you who possibly lived in Ogun State or practically lived in Ijebu area of Ogun State between the period of 2008 and 2000 and, between the period of 2004 and 2010, the reconstruction of the roads in Ijebu was honorably awarded to this Awujale. And if you are asking me how, maybe I would need to now begin to show you graph, and I'm not going to do that. So, and I mentioned Benga Daniel's name specifically. I don't know what relationship he had with the likes of Amusun or Dubious Dapo. I was no longer in Nigeria then, but I was fully there when Benga was, So he's not a good person. Here you understand. And I understand that Badmus, possibly as an Ijebu person, you may find it difficult to see it that way. And I understand, but that is what you should ask others too. It's not because we don't like him. No. We respected him until we realized that, now look at what he did towards the end of his tenure or towards the end of his life. He threw the entire custom. He didn't only bastardize the royal stool of Awujale. Do you understand? It is only in Ijebu land that we have more than 500 Otumbas. It practically turned that into a business, not to benefit Ijebu, but to benefit himself. He's stinkingly rich. All of that is for himself, not for Ijebu. We have more than 500 Otumbas. 500. Kilo day. In a palace, you have each chief, right? You have Otumba, you have OC, you have this, you have that. No, not in Ijebu Ode. Just paying money and you